Hello, hello, hello. Checking in with Lana of Gthl, which we're not seeing too terribly much of her. Um, but we left off last time, part 2, chapter 12, and I am now on part 3, chapter 11. So zipping right along. So yes, John Carter ran through a guy who's gonna recognize him. He and his posse did manage to escape, got on an airship, and headed to Gthl. But unfortunately, in the meantime, Gthl seems to have fallen under the control of the Aptol, or at least been surrounded by. They get fired upon. They end up crashing. John Carter and Dude go off to kind of suss out the things, leaving Lana, Pandanchi, and others behind. They encounter a group that kind of roughs them up, but it turns out it is actually the Gthalan troops, and indeed they're like, "Oh, okay, well, you know, he's taken over the city. He's being all tyrant like, and we'll send some men to pick up Lana and Padanchi, or whatever the hell his name is. Except when they do, been abducted. Another more abducted Lana of Mars. So John Carter kind of infiltrates in to the enemy troops. It seems like she has taken off, and they need an airship. So he goes now instead of blackface, he's in redface. Infiltrates his way in, convinces a drunken guy to give him a command of a ship that's turns out it's out of commission, but it just turned out the engine needed a good clean. So he cleans the engine. He finds out the guy who's there has been Aptol has been abducting his soldiers, basically enslaving them into his army. And he says, "Hey, be with me and get 25 other fighting guys who want to be with me, and we'll do this mission, and then you can have the ship and your freedom." So he does get them. The guy, unfortunately, one of the recruits does go to the drunkard. They come on board, but they take off, get away. The drunkard gets thrown off the ship by one of the dudes, because these are very hard dudes. They're like half assassins and half Panthars with like no particular thing. There's a mutiny, and the assassins just want to toss them overboard, kill them. But half of the other half say like, "No, he fought for us. He was good. We still don't want to go back," because the plan is to go back to Aptol's main headquarters to rescue Lana, but they don't want to do that. So they set them down. They set them down, and they say, "Well, actually, we're not that far from Aptol's citadel, so let's go there." And they're going that way when they get confronted by a giant apt, which is a giant kind of snow monster. I can't remember what it is. I'll let you know next time. But yes, yeah, it's it's clicking along, fun, thrilling, pulp adventure. It's less kind of the weird ideas and more just kind of straight ahead kind of adventure. So that's good. I'm surprised about how consistent Edgar Rice Burroughs is. Even if there's not as much invention in this one, we actually get a retelling of the whole creation myth of the one tree where the black Martians were the first original sprouts off the tree, and all the other races maybe evolved from the white ape, I think. Branches off of the white ape, I think, is what they claim. So we get a recycle of that. We get a little bit more. We get another recursion of all Martians are telepathic, and indeed John Carter can read their minds, but no Martian can actually read his mind, whether it's just because he has such a strong mind, or whether it's because he's or it's just because he's an Earthman and his brain just doesn't work that way, which is why telepathy hasn't been developed that much on Earth yet. It's funny, this is definitely still in this era where telepathy was considered a bit of science fiction versus just sort of pure fantasy. So yes, that's where we are at the moment so far in Lana of Gthl, which does not have a ton of Lana of Gthl. You know, it's the object. It's the object to get to save. Indeed, they come upon another. One of the guys, one of the pursuing Gthl things, they shoot down, and it turns out the guy that they save, was that him? Is actually another helium, a Padwar helium guy who can actually fly. They actually keep him and toss John Carter over the side because, well, they lower him down because they just figure he's going to be less of a threat to pilot the ship, which is true. They've watched him handily take apart a guy who tried to countermand his orders, and who jumped overboard rather than being killed, which, you know, killed him, but it released John Carter from the duty of having to kill him himself. All right, I am rambling. I'll leave it there. More videos later.